Rain was falling. He wasn't supposed to be here. But something pulled him in. He stopped in front of a grave, and his heart skipped a beat. Because the name carved into the stone was someone he never said goodbye to. Her name was Emily Carter, and even after all these years, it still didn't feel like just a name. It felt like a memory that refused to fade. Like a voice he could still hear in the quiet. There were nights when the world went completely silent, and somehow she was still there. In the way the wind moved through the trees, in the songs he couldn't stop listening to, in the empty spaces beside him that never felt empty enough. She wasn't just someone he once loved. She was a part of him. The kind of part you don't lose, even when everything else is gone. People told him time heals everything. But time didn't heal this. It only taught him how to live with the absence. Because to him, Emily never really became a memory. She stayed, like something unfinished, like a story that ended without a goodbye. And maybe that's why he never truly let her go. It didn't start like a love story. There was no grand moment, no dramatic beginning. Just two strangers crossing paths on an ordinary day. But something about her felt different. The way she looked at him, like she could see the parts of him he never showed anyone else. And somehow, he didn't feel the need to hide. With Emily, everything was easy. The silence wasn't awkward. The laughter wasn't forced. And the time never felt like enough. They would talk for hours about nothing and everything. Dreams, fears, the kind of future they were too afraid to hope for. And somewhere between those late-night conversations, he stopped noticing the world around him because she became his world. Not all at once, but slowly, quietly, like something that was always meant to happen. She had this way of making him feel like no matter how broken life got, he wasn't alone anymore. And maybe that's why he believed her. The night she looked at him with that soft, distant smile and whispered, "If I ever disappear, promise me you won't forget me."
He laughed. Not because it was funny, but because the idea of losing her felt impossible. He didn't realize then, some promises aren't meant to be kept.
It didn't happen all at once. There was no warning, no final goodbye. Just a silence that slowly started to grow. At first, it was small. A missed call, a late reply, a message that stayed seen for just a little too long. He didn't think much of it. People get busy. Life happens. But then, the silence stretched. Hours turned into days. And something inside him started to feel off. He called her again. Once. Twice. 10 times. No answer. Her phone rang, but she never picked up. He texted, "Are you okay? Did I do something wrong? Emily, please answer me." The messages delivered, but the replies never came. Days turned into weeks, and the silence was no longer normal. It was heavy, unnatural, like something was missing from the world itself. He went to the places she used to go, her favorite cafe,
The street she loved walking on. The quiet corner where they first met. But she wasn't there. Not a trace. Not a sign. Not even a goodbye. It was like she had been erased from the world, from everyone, except him. And that was the part that haunted him the most. Because deep down, he knew this wasn't a choice. Emily didn't leave. Something took her away.
After she disappeared, nothing in his life felt the same again. At first, he kept waiting. Every notification sound made his heart jump. Every unknown number felt like hope. But hope slowly started dying. And what replaced it was silence. Heavy, endless silence. People around him moved on. They laughed, they lived, they forgot. But he couldn't, because forgetting her felt like betraying her existence. So he kept her alive, in memories, in routines, in small habits she once touched. The coffee she liked, the songs she used to hum, the way she always said his name softly. Everything stayed, but she didn't. Nights became the hardest, because silence at night is louder than anything. He would sit alone in his room, staring at his phone, scrolling through old messages, reading conversations that now felt like echoes from another life. Sometimes he would smile, and then suddenly stop, because the realization would hit again. She wasn't coming back. Friends tried to pull him out. Move on. It's been too long. She wouldn't want this.
But they didn't understand. Because for him, it wasn't just about moving on. It was about losing someone who still felt alive in his mind. And slowly, he stopped talking about her. Not because he forgot, but because it hurt too much to remember out loud. So he kept it inside, where no one could see it, where it quietly broke him, day by day, until all that was left was a version of him that was still waiting for someone who would never return. It was never planned. He didn't even know why he went there that day. The sky was heavy, the air colder than usual, like the world itself was warning him to stop. But he kept walking, step by step, through the silence of the cemetery, until he saw it. A name. One he hadn't seen in years, but had never forgotten. Emily Carter. His breath stopped. The ground beneath him felt unreal, like it wasn't solid anymore. He moved closer, slowly, hesitantly, as if approaching it would make it real. And then he saw it. The dates. The year she disappeared and the year it ended. The same year. His hands started shaking because suddenly everything he believed about her absence collapsed. She didn't leave. She didn't move on. She didn't disappear by choice. She was gone forever. The world around him blurred. Sounds faded. Even the wind felt distant. All he could hear was his own breathing breaking apart. Memories crashed into him all at once. Her voice, her laugh, her promise. If I ever disappear. He had always thought it meant distance, but now he understood. It meant something far heavier, something final. And for the first time in years, he didn't feel abandoned. He felt late. Too late. He stood there, motionless, staring at the gravestone. But instead of peace, something strange started rising inside him. A feeling he couldn't explain. Because memories don't just end like this. Not like a clean line. Not like a final answer. Something about it felt incomplete. He looked around the cemetery. Silence. Too perfect. Too still. And then, his eyes dropped to the gravestone again. The name, the dates, the finality. But his mind started questioning something it had avoided for years. If she really died, why did it feel like she was still here? Not physically, but somewhere deeper. Like an echo that never stopped responding. He slowly reached into his pocket, pulled out his phone. His hands were shaking. He opened the messages, scrolled down, past old conversations, past memories, until he found it. Her chat. Still there. Still alive in his phone. And then he froze. Because at the top of the chat, there was a new message. Unread. Sent recently. No explanation, no context. Just one line. I'm sorry. I had to leave. His heartbeat stopped. Because the date on the message was not from the past. It was recent. Too recent. His mind refused to accept it. If she was here, buried in front of him, then who was still sending messages? The wind picked up. The fog thickened. And for the first time, he felt something behind him. Not a sound, not a shadow, but presence. He looked at the grave, then at his phone. Another message appeared. I'm still waiting. His breath stopped. Because this time, the message wasn't from her number.
This story made you feel something. Doesn't scroll away. Subscribe to Hidden Tear for more emotional stories that stay with you long after the end. Because sometimes the deepest tears are the ones no one sees. Turn on notifications. You never know when the next story will break your heart again.